After the announcement that Gotham Knights on the console is locked to 30 FPS, A Plague Tale Requiem is the next big title with no 60 FPS mode. And yes, I know we have a 40 FPS mode on 120 Hz screens, but what about all the gamers with no 120 Hz screens? They're ending up playing this great game in 2022 on a next-gen console in just 30 FPS. There's no 60 FPS mode at this very moment. I don't know what the future will bring us, but I actually doubt it. Maybe PlayStation 6 or Xbox Series X1 or whatever the next name is will have a performance patch to play this game actually in 60 FPS. 30 FPS, in my opinion, is an absolutely no-go, and we need to understand why. We're talking here about an OLED screen with a perfect, almost perfect pixel response time. 30 FPS on this screen is terrible because you see the whole stuttering. If you have a LCD screen, and even you have a high-end LCD screen, it's not even that worse. And I confirmed this and I tested this on my Q95B, which by the way is the high-end LCD screen from Samsung. And compared to here, the stuttering is very, very minor, but of course the picture is much blurrier because of LCD technology. Playing on an OLED screen, it's just a nightmare when we're talking about low frame rate. And this is what people can expect with a 60 Hz screen. And we need to keep in mind there are OLED screens out there with just 60 Hz refresh rate. Just because it's an OLED screen, it doesn't mean you have automatically 120 Hz. And in my opinion, this is not enjoyable. It is playable without a doubt, but it is not enjoyable. But we need to be careful here, and I like to say this, I'm recording off my screen with my camera in 60 FPS, but even I'm recording 60 Hz material right now or 30 FPS, my camera will not show you exactly the same stuttering what I can see on my screen. And if you watch this video, let's say on an LCD screen, then the impression is completely different. I was really looking forward for this game, but playing this on the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X in 30 FPS, or if you're lucky and you own a 120 Hz screen, in 40 FPS plus a little bit more frame rate when you activate VRR, it's still not a great experience. And I know this game is very demanding on a PC as well, but that doesn't mean you can't optimize it on the consoles. And I can't hear it anymore that some people trying to tell me 30 FPS is okay and playable. I mean, of course it is playable, but it is not enjoyable, and this is the point, because this is my hobby. I like to do this. There is nothing what I have to do, and therefore I like to enjoy it, because that's the big difference. Tomorrow I have to go back to work and maybe I don't enjoy it, but this is something what I like to do, and I like to enjoy it in the best possible quality. And right now with some games it is not possible on the consoles. And don't get me started that we can't actually do it or whatever. It is doable because we have Spider-Man, we have Ratchet & Clank, we have Forza, we have Halo. There are so many examples with from games where we have great graphics, and to be honest, I mean, this game looks great on the Xbox Series and PC, no doubt about that. But 30 FPS, or in this case right now 40 FPS with VRR enabled, which maybe is 40-45 FPS, it is okay, but 30 FPS is a no-go. And again, we have examples like Spider-Man ray tracing enabled and over 70 FPS if I'm not wrong. It is possible, and yeah, that's how I feel about this. I do not support 30 FPS games at all anymore. And you also shouldn't accept any 30 FPS game anymore on consoles, on next-gen consoles in 2022, because the more we are accepting this, the more we are going to have. If we are not, or let's say like this, I mean, the best way would be we're not buying games. That would be the best way to show the developer we like to have quality. We like to have at least 60 FPS, because this is, in my opinion, the absolute minimum. I mean, 40 FPS mode in Horizon Forbidden West, it is fine, but I still prefer the performance mode with a lower resolution but a much smoother gameplay. And again, I can't understand people that are telling me they like 4K and 30 FPS over, let's say, 1440p and 60 FPS. What is the point to have a very blurry picture when you can't see any of the nice details in 4K? There is no point, because you just can see it when you stand still, when you look at a still picture, but not when you're moving. The higher the frame rate, the clearer the picture, the more details you can see while you're playing. This is very, very simple, and I get it. We don't have 120 FPS consoles right now, and that's fine, but we should have 60 FPS consoles.